Mike, I have to ask you the question the whole world wants to know. Why are you flying on JetBlue?
My wife says the same thing.
And you said it was your favorite airline. And I was just about to ask you, why is it your favorite airline?
My wife says the same thing.
What are they doing on JetBlue?
You know, I love JetBlue. I don't know why. I got the television.
I mean, Stevie Wonder used to love the Holiday Inn.
They are
No, you know that? You know why?
Why?
Because everything was in the same place.
Well, maybe I just love JetBlue.
It's comfortable.
Yeah, I don't fly any.
I love it. See, yeah, that's why
my wife is like, she wants me always in private plane. My wife said, why don't you just? She can't fathom it.
Mike, sell like one Tiger, and you could probably just fly whatever airline you want.
Yes,
I know you got rid of the Tigers. You had Tigers though, right?
Yeah, I had Tigers, man. I had a bunch of Cougars.
Yeah, that's wrong. I'm an animal lover.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, 100%.
But 100%, but you had tigers in captivity. That can't be good for the tiger.
No, they weren't in captivity. They slept in my bed with me. What are you talking about? I got 500 pounds in the bed with me, man. What are you talking about?
So
I got them in cage.
Well, I mean, they're not. I mean, you're right. You know, I've always thought about animals.
Have you ever smelled the tiger fart?
No.
You gotta evacuate. I would have had 15,000 square. I gotta evacuate the house. You gotta open up everything, close people to blow everything out.
Seriously?
Y'all meant the worst thing in the world.
Because the level of it or the extreme stench of it?
Both. Both. You can't listen.
Well, what were you feeding the tiger that it was farting so badly? Don't you think
horse meat?
Horse meat.
Yeah.
Is that what they eat?
Yeah, they love horse meat and chicken.
Oh, so you killed horses and kept tigers?
Hey, stop! I never killed a horse in my life.
Well, where'd you get the meat?
I paid for it, but listen.
Well, somebody killed it.
Yes. They're the horses that they send to, what you call?
The glue factory?
The glue factory, yeah. Those guys, they can't do it anymore.
Now, Mike, where do you stand on horse fighting as a legalized sport?
Horse fighting?
I'm just making just fucking with you.
Horses do fight. Remember that horse bit like other horses here?
No.
He did a Mike Tyson.
I was going to say.
The other horse was winning. He was mad. He bit his ear, tried to pull him back.
But see, I love this that you love JetBlue because I always thought of you as like the people's champ. You know, I mean, when you, first of all, people call you champ and they should, because champ is like when you're president, they call you president even after you're out of office. Senator, governor, they always say the guy's out of over 20 years, governor. And you always will be champ.
But I learned something with my last experience on the plane. I learned I don't belong to me. Too many people
You just learned that?
Yes.
Oh, stop.
My right hand to God.
Mike, you've been famous.
No, but listen, I never know that my actions affect so many people. They worry.
Of course. But they inspire people, though. A lot of your actions have inspired people. I mean,
but just that fact that people worry. They see the incident and they just worry.
But Mike, your Broadway show, which I saw on TV, but I don't live near Broadway, it's fantastic. And it inspired people.
I like to continue.
You don't know that? Oh, you must know that about your life, or else you wouldn't have done that show.
Listen, sometimes that's my selfishness and not egos.
What is your selfishness?
Just wanting to succeed and be happy, but hey, I want to keep myself to me.
Well, that's not selfish. Yeah. That's what we all want. I mean, you have some obligation, I think.
I have to realize that I don't belong to me anymore.
You never did since you were 20 because you were
I didn't understand that till now. Like when I got into that incident, so many people calling was worrying. I'm like, oh.
That one douchebag on JetBlue did that after 30 fucking years of being in the spotlight? Anyway, I just want to tell you, you really are, when I see people with you, because the reaction was overwhelmingly in your favor, you are like the people's champ. Like, remember they called Lady Diana the people's princess? But listen, you're like her,
Bill,
but with fighting.
But what am I going to do on a private plane?
What are you going to do on a private?
No,
you can jerk off if you want.
I know, but look, exactly. But listen, it's only me and people I know. I'm like one of those guys. I'm like, I have to be seen. I have to be around the people. I don't know.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I'm
like
one of
Magic
those guys.
Johnson.
Is he like that? I have to, yeah.
It's a great documentary.
I can't be isolated.
Mike, you got to see that HBO did a documentary about Bird and Magic, like when they were playing again, you know, the 80s. It's fantastic because they're such opposite personalities, but they came to quite love each other. But
Bird's a badass, though.
Yes, he is. And he
takes
kept,
it so
but
serious.
he's like,
serious guy.
he didn't want the spotlight, legit. And Magic only wanted the spotlight. And he talks about when they were in Barcelona at the '92 Olympics, remember the first dream team, basketball team?
I remember.
And he said, we were in the hotel, we were getting mobbed. There was a side door you could go out that they told us and no one would bother you. But Magic didn't want to use the side door. You know, that's who he was. And that's great. But you're not obligated to do that. They don't own you. They own your work because you put it out in public and shared it. They don't own you.
You know,
Your family owns you.
my mind is just my mentality is JetBlue. Does that make sense?
And apparently your travel plans also include JetBlue. No, I mean, that's not, Mike, I have not flown commercial like practically in this century. The second I could get off, of course. And I used to hide it because I thought, oh, it makes me look terrible with the environment. You know what? I always say it, but the kids, they have to care about the environment more than me because it's their planet they're inheriting, and they don't. They worship Kylie Jenner, who never does anything but flies on a private plane. So when Kylie gives up the plane, I'll give up mine. How about that?
Hey,
you have a drink? Do you drink?
Yeah, some water.
Oh my God, you have a bag of, Jesus, Mike. How's the business going? How's the pot business? You love it?
Hey, listen, right? It gave me a new life.
You love it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I notice you don't keep that lip, though.
I know. My friends that they play football and pass, man. It's holding the joint.
Yeah. But so how do you go into an office every day with the pot business? Are you CEO Mike and you sit at the big desk and you're like, and you, and Jenkins, how does Vice President Jenkins sound? If we can get quarterly numbers up.
I'm hands-on. Listen, I don't look at myself as a boardroom guy, but I am.
Right.
On paper. But that's not, I have to be I have to be in the streets with the people. That's how I'm effective. I'm not effective in the room.
Right. Well, and also it's wasting the great ambassador for the product.
Exactly. I'm just a street guy. I like to work. I'm a worker.
Yes, you are. And what do you, like when people say, what has it done for you? Like, what is your testimonial? What is your love letter to marijuana that has made you want to actually be in business with it?
Hey, listen, you know what? You could just, I don't even have to go through a big discussion about a dissertation. You could just ask my family, am I a better guy with it or without it? And they would tell you 100% with it.
I'm with it.
Oh, man.
I'm definitely with it.
I am like, I never knew that I'm a moody guy. You know, I thought I was a great guy and stuff. I never knew how moody I was.
You didn't know you were famous, and you didn't know you were moody.
Well, I never
Mike!
Well, I always know I was famous, but I didn't know that to that effect. My selfishness is like, I want to love this. I want to be into this. And I have no idea.
You know what? When you're the heavyweight champion of the world, even if you're a non-charismatic guy, you're very famous. But when you're charismatic like you are, you know, when you have that, you know, X factor, you could also you did your turn in The Hangover, but you know, you could be in movies. You know, you could fucking do what The Rock does if you wanted to. Probably do it better. You know, you got, not that he's not good, but you know.
And I am going to do that stuff. We getting ready to do.
You are?
Oh yeah, we're getting ready to do my life story. We're going to do this without anybody. We put our own money up. We're just going to do this stuff.
Yeah, you look great, by the way. You really grew into your, what are you, 50?
55.
50, double nickel.
Yes.
No, you look, the tattoo has grown in nicely in age, I feel.
You know, I never thought by doing this, I never knew I would live to see so many other people with it.
I know, exactly. Right. When you did it, it
Yeah.
was very, very
You had been a Hell's Angel or something real
right.
crazy. Like back
Yeah,
then,
prison
yeah.
or some outright. It was
Yeah.
very out there to do that. And you're right. Tattoos, they are moving like a fungus up the body. And they're on the neck, and now they're on the face, and they're kind of taking over, I feel.
Listen, you think about it, 2,000 years ago, all of our ancestors were all tattooed up.
They were?
Yeah, absolutely. What was those guys?
I'm not sure we had the same ancestors
no,
2,000
really.
years ago.
No, what was those guys that the Romans would always try to garlic? They were all tattooed up.
The Romans did what to?
Remember when they
Conquered?
but they crossed the Rhine and they conquered
Yes, right. Well, they crossed the Rhine, but
it
then
was Caesar. It was Julius Caesar.
Julius Caesar conquered Gaul.
Yeah, that was Gaul, and he fought Jason Gedrix, the guys who they conquered it from.
Well, actually,
Gedrix, Jason Gedrix.
Who is he?
Gedrix is the leader of Gaul that fought Julius Caesar.
Oh, I don't know that name. What is his name?
Gedrix.
You sure we're...
I'm absolutely positive.
Okay. Okay, so he fought Julius Caesar, but Julius Caesar died, and then they tried to go on the other side of France, Gaul, is Germany. They never got to do... The Roman Empire was halted at
9 AD.
9 AD, the Battle of the Hurtenberg Forest,
Yeah.
right? Because that's where Hermann the German defeated, I think it's
Valens.
Valens, correct, the Roman emperor. That's as far as they got, because when they got into Germany, they found the tribes were super tribal.
But they got, in order to do that, they were warring tribes, but they all they got
bonded
unified.
together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Only way they can do it.
And the guy who defeated him, that Hermann the German guy, he had been taken in by the Romans and raised.
Yeah, all those guys. The Romans come and they take all the kids and they raise them and they enslave them. They use them in the army.
So this is a passion of yours, history. Obviously, you obviously read history.
I just know it.
Well, you must have read it somewhere. Or
Yeah,
watched
I used
it
to
on
read. I used to always read about boxing history, and then it went. And I used right from the beginning of it, and then it got involved with gladiators, slaves.
Right.
And then
that led you to Rome.
Yeah, it got really
All
interesting.
roads lead to Rome.
Exactly. And do you know there was gladiators that won their freedom 10, 20 times, but they just couldn't stop the adrenaline.
You mean they wanted to? They could have left, but they
won their freedom. Yeah, so many times.
Boy.
But they couldn't. The addiction of the people. They were like fighters today. They were celebrities. Gladiators were celebrities.
Athletes still always say that. I did it for the game. Oh, fuck you. Think you did it for the game. You did it for you. I gave everything to the game.
Nothing. But this is what I found out. Nothing's bigger than the game. The game is the platform for everybody.
Well, again, but see, your platform is really primus inter pares. There's a lot of things, but something very primal about going into a ring with another man and punching each other in the head is like it puts it above as far as interest level. It gets to in a very deep way. And it's very clear who the winner and
but the fighters look. The fighters look. How can I outsmart this guy? It's not ever what it appears to be. It looks like two guys killing each other. But the whole objective is how do I outsmart this guy?
You think it's always about outsmarting. That's how you.
Listen, when you're young and you're a kid, you win because you're stronger. But when you're at the top of the game, you only win because you're smarter.
Right. But you have to be smart at the beginning too, I would guess.
Absolutely, but from experience. But I'm talking about the top of the game.
Right.
Being number one is only because you're smarter.
Right, I'm sure. But weren't you the one who said everybody has a plan until they get hit?
Absolutely.
That's a great quote.
Absolutely.
Everybody.
Absolutely.
And see,
even with me, with everybody in life in general, we have to realize that things can happen. What's that happen?
Should happen.
It should happen. If it could happen, it would happen.
But here's my guess about you. Now I know, is it Jake Paul wants to fight you?
Yeah, I'm going to call him sometime Friday and we're going to talk.
And What? No, would you consider actually doing that?
Absolutely.
You don't worry about fighting at your age, at 55?
Check this out. We were talking about Julius Caesar, wasn't we?
Yeah.
He's the one that he said 365 days is a year. So before he was born, how did we tell our age? Tell me,
Is this a riddle? I don't
No, but really, Julius Caesar told us 365 days is a year. But before he was born, how did we tell our age?
By when the sun came back.
No, how do you know that?
Because that's why we have, like, Christmas. Do you know why Christmas is December 25th?
Why is that?
Because the soul...
God was born. That's when Jesus was born, I believe.
Well, that's when they said Jesus was born. Okay. Even if he even existed as a historical figure, which we don't know. But the reason why Jesus...
Jesus?
Yes.
Listen, you don't believe in Jesus like that? I'm a Muslim, but you don't believe in Jesus?
I do not. I'm not atheist. But also...
I know what I wanted to say to you.
What?
When you were going... I'm saying I read about all the greatest conquerors in the world, and they conquered the world, and they still said it. They're frustrated. They said, God, there's still something greater than me.
Well, when they got defeated, they said
No. They defeated everything. They conquered the world.
Right.
And they said, God, there's still something greater than me.
Why? What would it be if they conquered the world?
That feeling that it's not... I'm not
enough?
Yeah, no, it's that feeling that there's something greater than me. It's just, you have to believe in something greater than you.
Well, I feel like if you're at the point where you've conquered the world, then your ego's in a place where you're not saying there's something greater than me. And they did, many conquerors did set themselves up as gods on earth.
Yes.
So they thought they were God. You know when they said there's something greater than me? When they got their ass kicked. Seriously, that's what I'm saying. Like, did you ever see Alexander the Great, the movie?
I know everything about Alexander from what there is to know about him.
Okay, well, I know a lot about it from Oliver Stone's movie. I'm sure I learned it in college too, but his was much more interesting, and Rosario Dawson was really great at it.
Yes.
And Angelina Jolie.
But in all reality, he was scared of his mother.
Yes, Angelina Jolie plays
That's why he never went back. He was scared to go back. His men wanted him to go back. He was scared of his mother. He kept in touch with his mother. He was just a mama's boy.
Yes, that's how they portray it in the movie, that they almost had an incestuous relationship.
No, she was just one of those first stage mothers. Napoleon's mother was the same way. They was afraid of their mothers and stuff.
Well, yes. I mean, certainly sexuality in Roman times was quite different. I mean, like the way we talk about straight and gay, and now, of course, straight.
In Roman, they do it right in the street. Everything right in the middle of the street. Right now, everybody's screwing, they're slaying, they're shitting in the street. Everything right there. Everything's in the street.
And that's why you say you're a man of the street.
It's disgusting. It's just
right.
Yeah, it's a mess. What? Rome's a mess. Rome's a mess.
It's a mess. Yeah. Yes.
They're like, hey man, I need you to go. Oh, they hit somebody. I need you to go.
It's tough when you're trying to get a paper. Yeah. But when I was
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm a big fan of love letters, so I read some of the love letters from like before the beginning of time. Like Plato had some love letters. I read some of his love letters.
Whose love letters?
Plato.
Oh, Plato. Yeah. Well, that's Greek.
Yeah, but from the history of the world, the greatest love letters. And so, you read these letters.
I mean, Greek, the love letters could have been to a boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, not that that's wrong, but I'm just saying they had a pederast. That was a big thing back then. Someone who took an interest in what today we would certainly say is an inappropriate age.
That's what gladiators really know like that. We're just fuck boys. They fought, but they were fuck boys. You know what I mean? They get sexually abused all the time. The guards fucked them all the time, but they'd kill you. But that's what they were. They were slaves. They were sex.
Well,
boys.
And after they had sex with the women, you know what they said? Gladiator.
I think they liked men more than women back then.
Club Random is supported by Signal Wire. If you've been on a video conference recently, you know how brutal the experience is with the current tools. Laggy, choppy video, crappy audio quality. It's painful and exhausting, but it doesn't have to be. That's where SignalWire comes in. SignalWire is a technology arsenal that allows developers to create better real-time video communication apps and do it fast. From the little things, like actually being able to hear subtle audio cues that help connect us in real conversations, to the big things, like being able to support broadcast quality audio and video for thousands of participants. SignalWire empowers developers to create more natural, real-time interactive experiences. And SignalWire provides developer-friendly APIs and SDKs to help you get your app up and running with a few clicks and a snippet of code, instead of months of complex development work. Visit signalwire.com/random to sign up for a free account and receive an additional 5,000 video minutes for testing your app or integration. Go to signalwire.com/random. Get communications APIs from the OGs of software-defined telecom at SignalWire. Go to signalwire.com/random today. Anytime a wedding is happening, people start planning way ahead. Whether you're going to be a groom in a wedding party or lucky enough to not be the one getting married, everyone wants to look their best for a wedding. With a custom-fitted suit from Indochino, you'll feel and look great and confident. Those bridesmaids aren't going to hop into bed with someone wearing just anything. You can choose every detail in a suit, shirt, dinner jacket, and more at affordable prices. The online shopping experience is so easy that my people who did it for me can't wait to do it again. Every suit is made to your exact measurements and you can customize every detail. The best part, Indochino's suits start from just $429 and shirts from $79. Get a wardrobe personalized to your style and taste without spending a fortune. Explore their relaxed yet refined approach to spring suits with their new spring pastels. Get $50 off any purchase of $399 or more by using promo code RANDOM at Indochino.com. That's $50 off a purchase of $399 or more at Indochino.com, promo code RANDOM. So Caesar gets stabbed in 44 BC.
Yes.
Right? He crossed the Rhine.
Yes.
The Rhine. He crossed the
and he made himself
Rubicon.
governor for senator for life.
Yes.
What was it for life?
Well, like Grand Poobah, what a big cheese, whatever it was, dictator. I mean, this is the theme in many countries. And by the way, it's the theme they ripped off for the end, wisely, because it's a great story. But it was the end, if you ever watched Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones.
We loved the Game of Thrones.
You did? Okay, well, what is the end? What is the plot point? It's the Julius Caesar plot point. In other words, the blonde girl who's like, she's benevolent sort of, and then she becomes a dictator, and they gotta kill her.
She's a bad chick though, right? Red Dragon, she was a bad chick.
But she took a knife in the belly the same way JC did.
Yeah, she had to go.
She
had to go.
She had to go because she turned
too powerful.
Exactly, that's the Caesar story.
She was just a humble girl taking advantage of sex. When next thing you know, she conquered the right in the third. And she's conquered everything. She got dragons. You got flying dragons.
No, she let the dragons go to her head.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Intoxicating. Power's intoxicating. Power. It's intoxicating.
Power, exactly. So, anyway, the Romans, sexually though, and the Greeks, but especially the Romans, they didn't have this, oh, you're gay, you're straight. It was like, you're cute. Like Mark Antony, very macho guy, right? Who part of the cabal that succeeded Caesar, right? He had, the wife, and then he had the concubine kind of mistresses, and then he had like 13-year-old boys. Was a very common
I don't want to say,
thing.
but because people say, what the fuck? Do you know homosexuals conquered the world?
Homosexuals have?
Yeah.
I know they conquered West Hollywood.
No, don't forget that. I'm talking about warriors, gladiators. They conquered the ancient world.
What do you mean? You're saying most
their
of the
tribe conquering the world, went out to conquer the world.
Whose tribe?
The Greeks, the Romans, or somebody.
But
conquered the world.
They were gay?
Yeah, they were homosexual, then they conquered the world.
But see, you're saying they're homosexual, what I'm saying is there wasn't this concept back then that was homosexuality.
No, listen,
Right?
We're the Americans are the only phobic people in the world.
That's ridiculous. There's
Listen,
many homophobic people.
Not like this place.
Are you kidding?
Not like America. Come on. Why?
What? Every Muslim country in the world, you get thrown off of a roof.
Well, that's some extreme stuff.
Well, it is extreme.
Stuff.
It's extreme stuff that a lot.
Listen, as a Muslim myself, I know this. Everybody is everybody's worthy of the mercy of God. I don't care what you did.
I don't think you have to be Muslim to believe that.
No, but that's what I believe.
I am good. Good. It's
That's
a good thing to
believe.
believe. But that's not what we're talking about.
I don't believe nobody should kill someone else.
Okay, but I got to correct the record about like intolerance or homosexuality is very much alive in the world today. It's more probably alive in Muslim countries. They've studied this.
I'm talking about,
but it's alive in many countries. Russia is horrible with.
No, I'm talking about a country like this that takes everybody and we fight for everybody's rights and everybody's equal. Well, I'm talking about with that country like that. All those other countries are, they're kind of tricky,
Right.
But a country that promotes, hey, equal rights and all this crap.
Yeah, America has.
And then we got some crazy people.
Yeah, America's a place with horrible sins in its past and its present. But if you look around the world, there is perspective to that too.
I have perspective too in America.
Right.
I think this is the best country in the world.
Oh, there you go.
But listen, we're not perfect.
Agreed, of course.
We're not perfect.
And we never will be. I mean, because it's amazing we're even still here, really, when you think about how primitive and how lizardy our lizard brains are.
Listen, we can't even anticipate our next breath.
What?
We can't even anticipate. We can die any moment.
Right. Life is fun.
I can't anticipate me another second talking to you.
Well, hopefully it's going to be a good second. But, sometimes when I get up in the night, like to pee.
But no, I used to take something for that, man. But listen, I used to get up and pee every day.
If it's only once in the middle of the night.
Oh, no, I'm like 4 times. And long, too. It's long.
That's probably because Buster Douglas hit you in the kidney a million times.
No, it's in the head.
Well, whatever, but
your
body is taking a beating, which gets me back to the fight. Here's my thing about the fight. I worry about you. I don't want you to, you have a really good brain and you're doing great things with it. I would hate to see, because here's my guess.
Go for it.
About where you are. I bet, of course, at 55, you do not have the wind to go around the ring like a boxer in his prime does. You're also more brittle than you were at 25. But my guess is the actual punch that you have is exactly as it was when you were the champ.
I don't think so.
Oh, no.
But listen, know why you believe all the stuff you said, you're brittle? Because you believe that. I don't believe that.
Not at 55, a little more than at 25? You don't think your body was a little more rubbery and...
I have to live my life different in that perspective, but I don't think that I'm brittle and I'm a...
No, not brittle.
I'm a friggin' guy. This guy's 25 and I better bend down and suck on him.
Okay, but you know what? I saw this movie with Stallone and Schwarzenegger that they made recently. I mean, they're both punching 70 in the mouth, right? And it's some escape from prison movie, and they're fucking hitting each other with lead pipes. I'm like, you guys are 68. That your body could not, at any age, but maybe at 25 you could come back from it. Come on, you got to acknowledge that time, it's a river. It flows, Mike. It doesn't stop flowing, But
listen, it doesn't have to stop flowing, but maybe you don't have to flow with it. You just can't give up in life. You can't just say, I'm old and I can't fight.
When I get up and pee in the night, I don't want to turn the light on because, light is bad for sleep, right?
Really?
Well, sure.
I need it because I'm going to piss on the floor and everything. I piss on my wife is so mad. Listen, my wife comes to go use the bathroom. She sits down and puddle on the thing. I pissed all over the thing. No. My wife, God.
You're
I'm under mess. No, I'm serious. No, I'm serious. My wife get up and say, you're just a pig, right? Because I pissed all over the thing and I didn't pick it up.
Well, okay, we can certainly work on this. I feel like this
I mean,
is
it's not domesticated.
a totally
It's not the word.
solvable problem.
No, it's not.
It's all right. Yeah, introduce me to your wife. We'll work on it together. But here's the point
Please.
I was going for is that like I want to keep it dark because when you get light in your eye, it tells your body to wake up. So that's why your room should be completely dark when you sleep. And I don't want light. So I know where everything is. It's my house. I piss there all the time. So I don't really need light, but I'm doing this because I want to bump my head on the door or the door to the bathroom, whatever. You know, so I always feel like that's life. When you're moving forward, everything is in the dark. You can kind of see a little bit, and you're using your hands to protect yourself.
See, I'm not like, I don't think like, I can't sleep sometime at night. My wife would leave me alone. I wouldn't say I'm jerking off. I used to be one of those guys that, listen, you know, come on, one of those, I just can't do it. I'm sudden for my wife, hey, just leave me alone, okay? I gotta sleep. I go to bed at 8 o'clock and wake up at 2 in the morning, can't sleep.
But you like being married.
I love being married.
Right, I know you do. And sincerely, that's great to see it when people, because so many people, when they're married, you know, you say, you know, what's it like? And they're like, well, you know, it's a lot of work. They go right to sort of the...
It's no work.
Right, really? That's
it's no work.
Your marriage is no work.
No,
awesome.
I'm talking about from the fact just for caring about them. There's no work. Oh, God, she's give me a hard time.
That's fantastic.
No, it's just, I like her to give me a hard time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Imagine this. That's what you have a wife for.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
To make you, to remind you that you're a man.
That's why you have a wife.
Yeah, to remind you that you're a man.
They do?
Yeah.
A lot of times they put your balls in their purse, though. I mean, so there's also that side of it, you know. I mean,
listen, all the time they do. If you have that dependence on a woman like that, she got your balls. But that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Why's it a bad thing? Maybe she just want to comfort my balls or something.
Well, that's a different
not
ball
about
theory
control.
Yes, I mean, that's
Manscaped. We're always talking about balls. I'm always promoting Manscaped, and we're talking about balls all the time.
So you do that for your wife? You manscape because it's...
I don't do never, no. I'm not a hairy person. I'm not hairy at all.
No, but the beard looks very good.
I like the beard.
Yeah, I
like
do
the
too.
beard. Like the beard.
Really good. Good look.
I don't know. I don't have no hair. I'm not a hairy guy at all.
Right. Never were.
Hair. Never had no hair.
That's interesting. So, okay, so you like being married.
Yeah.
And you're a Muslim.
Yeah.
Is the whole family Muslim?
Some of my kids, but listen, it's my wife and my kids, they have to choose what they want to be.
Right.
They have to choose.
And you're okay with that?
Absolutely.
That is not a point of view that is even allowed in many, many Muslim countries in the world. There is one religion, it is Islam, and
I believe
they're not big on like, hey, you know what, let's agree to disagree.
Right, but listen, I'm not Allah.
I know, I'm just saying, that's something you're allowed to do here as an American Muslim.
No, I learned from experience, I'm not going to stop their growth from something that my growth is extending with.
Right.
I'm grown with it, but that's not their growth.
I'm just pointing out that this enlightened point of view is not found uniformly around the world. You know, you said America's the greatest. That's one reason why one thing that's still great about America is that you can have that point of view.
You'd be surprised how many Muslims want to come here and think that the way we think.
Oh, I'm sure they do. That. Oh, I'm not surprised.
You'd be surprised.
I'm not.
And West and all those guys in Iran and stuff, you'd be surprised. These are beautiful people.
And women who don't want to wear the fucking, you know, whatever the thing that looks like a cover of a motorboat.
Well, some people are more modest than other people.
Right.
I wish I had the dignity to be that modest.
Modest?
Yeah.
Why do you say that's modest?
Because they believe in covering themselves. And I'm like you said, I gotta be. How much money I gotta be in this cheap ass plane with all these people and talking to these people.
There's one thing. Modest is one thing, completely covering a woman so you don't see any of her.
Well,
That's
listen,
not modest. That's
listen,
pathological.
Suppose she's happy with that.
She's not, oh my God, she's not happy with it. I mean, you can brainwash someone into liking anything. It's like, oh.
And what's that called again? My kids always they ask me what the Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome.
My kids always
say that.
My kids and my wife got Stockholm
So
syndrome.
Your kids, how old are your kids?
They go from 33 to
33.
11.
Okay, so I'm sure you have times when you're with all of them.
Yes.
And I'm wondering what the discussion is like. Is it a lot of real shit? I'm sure it is. Like you like this kind of stuff.
No, listen.
I know, but you talk about. I mean, there's nothing that's off limits, right?
No.
You talk about sex with your kids.
Everything,
you talk about religion.
Everything.
Right.
Everything.
Your past.
Everything. Yeah, everything.
What do they say? Daddy, I saw YouTube. You were with this super fly.
No, they go like this. This is my kid, and I have a 13. What was wrong with you, Dad? Dad, why would you say something like that?
No, but they must be very proud of you.
But
they're Mike Tyson.
They do,
kids.
but my daughter's like one of these intellect kids, and she's like, why would you say something like that,
Right.
Dad? I'm just curious.
She's right.
How old were you then?
But
it's just ridiculous how these kids
all of
are.
us in our 20s are idiots. You can't, yours just happens to be on tape and in front of the world. But we're all that way in our 20s, you know. It's what's so frustrating about youth, but we were the same way, is that you want to tell youth you don't know anything yet, but because they don't know anything yet, they can't understand why that's
because
real.
You know what? The youth feel so good. You know what?
Right.
Nobody. It feels so good. Why would I listen to old motherfucker? He doesn't feel like this.
Exactly. Club Random is supported by Masterworks. A few things to know about contemporary art. As investment, art outpaced the S&P 500 total return from 1995 to 2020 by 164%. Art is stable. When other things tank, art doesn't. Art appreciates. It's tangible and mobile, not like the NFTs of the lizard dancing on Molly at Coachella. It's also scarce. So how do you get in? Masterworks is the answer. With over 400,000 current members and $500 million worth of actual art in their portfolio, they make owning art accessible for everybody. Gold and real estate fluctuate where art just goes up. In fact, blue chip art pieces have increased by 2,500% since 1995. Our viewers can skip their wait list. Go to masterworks.art/random to see important Regulation A disclosures at masterworks.io/CD. That's masterworks.art/random. Listen to the Real Sports Podcast, the audio companion to TV's most honored sports journalism series. Hosted by Real Sports producer Max Gershberg, this bi-weekly podcast brings you closer to the monthly magazine broadcast investigative pieces. You'll hear in-depth interviews and profiles from across the sports spectrum and updates on some of Real Sports' most groundbreaking stories. Listen to the Real Sports Podcast and other HBO Max audio companions wherever you get your podcasts. You became a Muslim when you...
No, I was Muslim before with the
Even
prison.
before prison?
Yeah, but it glamorized me, though, to be a Muslim in
By
prison.
the way, I never thought you committed that crime.
Hey, listen, I appreciate that, brother.
No. Not that it's important.
No, it is. But listen, know what I learned? It was the best thing that happened for me. It was a great learning experience.
But you know what? When back in the day, when this subject, because you're very famous, would come up in conversation and people would want to know my opinion, I'd always say, I don't think that was rape. I think what Mike did was had sex with someone consensually and then wasn't nice enough after.
Well, no, but listen.
And maybe you're guilty of that.
Yeah, but know what?
And then someone gets angry.
I'm guilty because of things I've done and got away with before that was grimy.
Right.
And
Sure.
yeah, that's what happened. And that was just a wake-up call.
I mean...
That's things that I did do with bad to women, disrespectful. That I got away with, that I never got complained with. And this was one that it showed up.
So that's kind of karma.
Yeah, it's karma. I believe in karma. Some of my friends say karma's bullshit.
I don't believe in that either.
My friends don't believe in karma. My friends say, say a little kid gets molested. Well, how's that karma?
But I was telling you a million years ago why December 25th is not only Jesus' birthday, but the birthday of many gods in that Mediterranean world before Jesus. They grafted that December 25th onto his biography for a reason, because they were trying to sell a new product and it was familiar to people. And it originated that way because the winter solstice is December 21st, right? This is 3 days after the winter solstice.
So what are you saying about Jesus? That's what I want to hear your opinion about Jesus. That's pretty much what I'm trying to listen to. It's coming along, but it's coming along really intellectually.
I'm just going to tell you why it's December 25th. It's interesting. It's 4 days after the winter solstice. Before there was science, on December 21st, it's the shortest day of the year. The days keep getting shorter. The people were like, oh my God, life is going to end. Every day gets shorter. December 25th is the first day they can notice that the days are getting longer again. So it turned into a celebration day. And that's why Jesus is on December 25th. What? Aren't you glad I finished that?
Yeah, but wasn't Santa Claus the mushroom dude?
Santa Claus, Jesus, it's all the same thing. Anyway, what is my opinion of Jesus?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
he doesn't
as a
exist,
philosopher, he did do some revolutionary things. The meek shall inherit the earth was really revolutionary. Of course, bullshit also, because they don't. But
what do you define as the weak?
The meek. That was his famous quote.
What do you define as the meek, though?
Well, the meek are, certainly not the ballers and movers and shakers and egomaniacs and the people who run the world. Not the Alexander the Greats. Alexander the Great wasn't meek.
Well,
how could he? You're not meek. The meek.
Some meek people disguise their meek with masculinity.
What do you mean?
Some people who we say are meek, they see their circumstances, so they hide that with masculinity to accomplish their goals.
Like, give me a specific example of that. Like,
say I'm a weak guy, right? And I'm looking around, they're following this particular lifestyle. This guy has to be a gladiator. This guy has to be tough. So I mask myself in that, in the toughness. I'm a tough guy now. It just goes, let's look at a guy like me. Listen, a guy like me. No, look at me.
You're saying this is you in this analogy?
Yeah, it is. It is.
You see yourself as a meek person?
No, I look at myself as a guy that got my ass kicked and abused as a kid and picked on. And so what do you call that? Do you call that, I never thought I could fight till somebody told me to fight. I used to get beat up all the time and abused all the time. Yeah, then one day my friend said, fight him.
You got beat up?
Absolutely, all the time, to probably 11 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
But then that's probably because you weren't big enough. You were being beaten up.
No, listen, I was this size at 12.
You were?
Yeah, I was back, I was this size.
12, see, that's the year everything changed for you.
Yeah, everything changed at 12.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. So, I remember seeing all those documentaries and you'd always be up there with the pigeons. And, as an animal lover, I kind of love that.
This is an interesting phenomenon because pigeon guys, it becomes a part of their soul. We have birds and we don't even know why we have them. We have other people taking care of them. We just have to have our birds.
Who does?
Pigeon people.
Oh, pigeon people, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's others?
All over the world.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I'm the only one I've ever heard of was you.
No, since the beginning of time.
I've heard of falconers. Pigeons. That's a big thing where they land on the...
Well, they used them because that's during the Crusades when they had the messenger pigeons. So the Arabs used the falcon to grab the pigeons and they could see where their plans are and they can retract them down and intervene.
Right. Huh. But pigeons, what is it about the pigeon as opposed to other flying things that shit everywhere that is...
You know what it is? It's just that this is what crazy... They need you to protect them. Most people that fly pigeons are they got the image of a tough guy.
Because of you?
No. As a little kid, if you flew some birds, you better not mess with that guy. Most pigeon flying guys are like tough guys. Because if I'm a little kid, I got birds, I can come there and take my birds.
So you followed in that tradition?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and something, it's like, maybe it's like you're this tough guy, but you want to show your gentle side, and you can do it with do you pet them? Because birds are very dirty, aren't they?
They're cleaner than us. That's all they do all day is clean themselves.
Birds are cleaner than us?
That's all day they do is clean themselves.
Right.
That's all they do all day is clean themselves.
Could you talk to them about the shitting, though? Because I feel like it's just so much.
This is what you need to know. We're talking about ancient times again. Ancient time, pigeon shit was the manure of the world. That's what
I feel it is still the manure of the world. There's a lot of it.
I think if pigeon shit on you is good luck.
What are
People
they-
that fly pigeons can't wait. Their friends come up the first day, they get shitted on and be like, fuck, I'm up here for 10 years, I don't get shitted on. You get shit on your
But
first
it
day.
is like they have permanent diarrhea. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's. I don't know.
It's because they eat so much. You know what else? Their shit is like acid. If it goes in your car, it just eats right through your cars. And yeah, it's like
Bird
acid.
shit is like acid?
It's like acid, yes.
Wow, you ought to do a science show. Mike Tyson, the science guy.
On
That-
birds, I know.
No, and a lot of things. You know, do your history but okay. So the fight. So who is this guy? Jake Paul?
Yeah.
Who is
yeah,
he?
well, he's sensational. What are you talking about? You don't know who he is?
I know the name, and I should know more, and I apologize. But
He's like
treat me like an idiot.
I don't even look at him the way people say. I can't even say what they call him.
But he's not a fighter.
Yeah, he's a fighter.
So he's a fighter.
Yeah, but they don't want to credit him as being a fighter. Though.
Why?
He's fucking white with blue eyes and blonde hair. Okay, I don't know, but there's, you know, white people hate blue eyes and blonde hair. Everybody wants to kill him. You know, that's just that's what he's. But he can fight. That's his thing. You know, everybody wants to kick his ass. Don't care. Every nationality wants to kick his ass.
Kick this guy's ass?
Yeah, everybody wants to kick his
Why?
ass.
Because he's just some.
Pisses everybody off.
Because he's good looking and.
That too, but he's a great salesman.
Oh,
Great
Oh.
salesman.
okay. So there would be massive interest if you fought him. That's
Promoter.
I see.
He's a great promoter. He doesn't even know it. He's just naturally a great promoter.
And what would the fight look like in your eyes when you picture it?
It'd be fun. It wouldn't be
A fun fight.
Yeah. He's a
It would be
beautiful
a-
guy, yeah.
Because why? Because it would be so easy for you to.
Nothing's easy. I'll never look at this is gonna be easy, but I would kick it. No, I don't look at life like that.
No. See, you know what else I worry about as I talk to you? And I used to see you quite often at our friend Jeff Green's parties, you know, and you were always in a good mood, you know, we were at a party. But you seem to have a calmness and a true happiness now. I worry about being this focused, centered, happy in life, and then going into the boxing ring. Because maybe what helps you in the boxing ring is being angry, right?
No.
No, like I said,
No.
that's a terrible theory.
The projection that you are angry is the whole objective. It's all an act. Boxing's an act too. It's just physical. It's all psychological. How can I get under his skin? Maybe I should hit on his
Right.
wife. Something like that. It's all psychological.
Hit on
And then
his
after you do all that stuff, you piss them off, and it's over. Hey, I love you, brother. It's all good. It's all strategy before you even get in the ring.
So it sounds like what you're saying is like, you know, I know in many sports, if you just compared the athletes on a strictly physical level, you can't really tell which one would be the real champion. I mean, there were many athletes who could jump as high as Michael Jordan and, you know, do some of the physical things, but he had a mental toughness.
The willingness and determination to supersede everybody.
Right.
The willingness to sacrifice. You only do that by sacrifice. Only sacrifice can make you the best in the world. Nothing else. You have to sacrifice.
Well, certainly in your game.
Every game.
Yes, but
Every
you don't
game.
want to go, I mean, you don't want to go into the ring flabby. You know, you have to be.
You have to have an ego. Like I'm
You
a
have to have a
heavyweight.
and a
I used
trainer.
to just watch the old fight. They were always ripped. I just wanted to look like the old time fighters. Always ripped. You look like you here to fight. You know, I never wanted to be the flabby guy.
And you know, Muhammad Ali fought when he was flabby sometimes. I remember Howard Cosell. There's 3 rolls of fat now where there were once 2.
He's just so beautiful. He's the greatest.
I know,
can
but
do
he
that.
got punched too much
Yeah, I
because
agree
he
that.
wasn't in shape. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but because
So-
he out tough guys. He was tough. When you're tough in this sport, this is not a tough man's sport. It's a thinking man's sport. At the end of his career, he got tough. He was
Well-
taking punches.
I think it's both. I think like the elite level of anything, you have to have like it's like, you know, 3 lemons, 3 sevens in a row. Like basketball, you have to be smart, high basketball IQ. You have to have crazy skills, and you have to be tall.
Tall.
If
You
you're
have to be tall.
5'9" and have the first two, fantastic. Good luck in your backyard. But to be, I think in your game, you have to be very tough, smart and skilled. You got to get all three.
Check it out. I'm heavy. I'm 5'10". I crush the world to my feet. It's
5'10"?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's perfect for a boxer. You don't want
I
to be
agree.
too tall, right?
I agree. Like probably 5'11", 6 foot, perfect.
Right. And then your uppercut
It's perfect.
puts their
It's perfect.
chin bone into their
It's
skull.
just that you're short and it's harder to hit. A big target is easier to hit than
So, just as a weekend warrior, I have a basketball thing here. I play every day. There's something about watching the ball go through your hoop. It's like the likes, It's like I get a like in my brain every time the ball goes in.
It's
And
like magic. How am I focusing this ball? How am I navigating this ball in that little hole?
right.
How am I able to do something like that? That's almost impossible when you think about it.
I had the same thought. Like if you had never seen anyone shoot a basketball and they were 20 feet away, you would think, oh, you'd get that on 1 out of 1,000 times.
Somebody could do it all day.
All day.
Larry Bird could do it all day.
Lots of guys can do it all day. I think the record for number of free throws in a row is something like 1,400. Not in games, of course. This is like somebody, but they still did it. But
Chamberlain did 100 in one game.
But
100 points.
When you land a good punch, is that the same as when the ball goes through the hoop? It's just like I must feel good.
The best punch in the world is when you don't feel it.
You don't feel it.
No, when you feel like you missed the guy and the guy's out dead, that's the best punch. I don't know why. Sometimes
you don't mean
missed
dead.
him.
You mean
he's
dead,
out.
Tired.
He's out cold.
Cold, yes.
You count 100, you count 1,000.
Right.
He's not getting up.
I'm just saying, you're not wishing that he's dead.
No, that's just boxing terminology.
You're not Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
That's painful to see, right?
That trial?
Yeah.
Very.
No, serious. No,
very serious. I was talking about it on my show last week, and I said it's literally the definition of a tragedy, because a tragedy is when the tragic character has this tragic flaw. And because of the tragic flaw, it's inevitable that he's going to go to his doom.
Exactly, but no, it doesn't. People are beating up on the girl, right? But I understand her too.
Who knows what happens inside that relationship? But what do you understand about Amber?
I understand that she's defending herself.
Yeah.
She's fighting for her life.
Well,
and psychologically, she thinks everybody's against her because she's not getting a good rep. She's not looking good in the press.
No. Well, I mean, and there's also, we have to acknowledge the possibility that she could be flat out lying. People do lie. I mean,
but like you said, it's tragic, right?
Tragic, yes.
You see love turn into that.
Well, it's tragic because
what love is, I guess, supposed to be.
Must have known. He had one trial already in London, which he lost. He must have known that a second trial would completely ruin his career forever, because there's just too much in people's heads about this now, and it went on too long, and he wasn't at an age where you want to start new, and yet he couldn't stop himself from pursuing this because he had to clear his name.
Check this out.
He does not, I don't think he possibly...
How my life is, what do you want?
What?
Like with my relationship, what do you want? Take it all.
Oh, you mean if you were in a divorce?
No, in all my relationships, take it all.
Take it all to who?
Whatever, the finances, whatever you want, just take it all.
You're saying when you get into a discrepancy, that's your negotiating position?
You take it all.
Right, because you just don't want to fight.
It's just I don't like that tragic stuff when two people love each other and now they hate each other.
Right.
If it is like that, let's do that privately. Let's not, that's just what I believe.
And that's what I'm saying. The tragedy is neither one of them is going to work, because she will always be the girl who pooped in the bed. I mean, she could be the greatest actress in the world. It doesn't matter. It's like you can't, when she comes on screen, you'll think poop in bed. all you'll see is Amber
No, but listen,
shitbed. That's
you
just
almost
it's
want to
not.
cry for them, right? You're like, what the fuck?
Cry for them is a little
No, but
beyond
not
my.
from a human perspective.
No, it
you
is.
gotta have-
No,
you look at them and you say, what the
No,
fuck?
I.
Do they have kids?
No.
Oh,
no,
God,
no.
thank God.
Oh, no. They got. I mean, look, he was married for like 15 years, or not married, effectively married to someone who they lived in France. They had 2 kids. They seemed very happy. And then he did a movie in 2009 with Amber. And, a movie set, it's like Temptation Island. Did you ever see the show Temptation Island? They have.
I've been on a bunch of sets before.
But Temptation Island?
No, it's a set. I just been on movie sets and I see what happens on movie
Right.
sets.
But I'm saying in Temptation Island, they have like couples who have been together for 4 or 5 years, and then they put them with all these other singles on an island away from each other because they're tempted. And a movie set is just like that, except not only is the wife a continent away, and now you're on this island, a movie set with this hot person, but they actually are writing a script for you to fall in love with her. You don't even have to do the work. It says right there, Tuesday, kiss her all day long,
But listen, as a group it all comes back from that Roman stuff. A group of persons is all sex, you know what I mean? It's sex inspired. That's who we are.
Everything does come from Rome. I mean, a lot from Western civilization. I mean, that was
Rome and Egypt.
Egypt less so, but
well, listen, count and find out how many pyramids are in this country.
Pyramids?
Yeah.
Well, there's the one in Vegas.
Tons of them.
Really? Pyramids?
Yeah. And the one in Vegas still not bigger than the one in Giza.
I know, but the pyramid is not something that you'd have to be Egyptian to think of. I'm sure people all over the world thought, oh, look, pointy at the top and bigger at the bottom. That's not
There's
like...
pyramids in Mexico. There's pyramids all over the world.
That's what I'm saying.
There's pyramids in Bosnia.
Yes, because everyone thinks of a pointy thing with, bigger at the bottom. It's like a natural...
I think it's something at the house of worship.
Bullet bras. What?
I don't know. I think they always think it comes down to a house of worship.
What comes down to a house?
Pyramids.
Well, I mean, it certainly has been used in worship. The people do think there's something mystical. It's on the back of one of our
The dollars, right?
dollars, isn't it? Like, what's it doing on American money? You're right, it's everywhere.
Because we believe our power system believes that's the way life should be. Roman and Egypt, we have a fixation with that.
I mean, I think there's another Egyptian, you're right, an Egyptian thing on the money. But a lot of this is because, all these cultures, I mean, Roman culture then spawned European culture, which then spawned America. So we do trace more back to Rome. But they were all, mingling with each other. I mean, look at Mark Antony married Cleopatra, right?
Yeah.
And Caesar fucked her too.
Yeah.
They were like the Kennedys sharing Marilyn Monroe.
But it all comes down to the power of her. They all fucking Cleopatra.
Cleopatra,
That's
yeah.
the power, though. Everybody say, oh, she's getting fucked, but that's the power.
Do you think she had the power?
Absolutely. She had the strongest men in the world at her feet.
What do you think? You think Cleopatra was like great looking, or it was something
No, she was
else?
horrible looking.
Cleopatra was horrible
She was a
looking?
monster.
How do you know this?
They-
How do you know what fucking Cleopatra was?
Well, listen,
Mike.
she had a tomb. People looked at her through the thing. She had a bent nose. She was really unattractive.
Well, so what? She just gave the most amazing head?
No, she was the most intelligent.
Intelligent?
Yeah.
And you
Like
think?
when she came to Julius Caesar, she was in a rug, and she boom, it's what?
Yeah. She
was smarter
smuggled
than
herself
everybody.
in the rug.
She was smarter than everyone else.
So you
If
think?
she wasn't, how'd she get the 2 strongest men in the world at her feet?
I bet you she was good looking.
No, she was horrible looking.
Well, we don't know.
To our standards.
But we didn't. But
But
they were.
look at it in your phone.
They were looking in my phone.
Oh yeah,
How
what
can
they
I?
call it? YouTube thing. What does that look at?
Who took a
Oh,
selfie
man.
of Cleopatra
No, it's all
in
over the
4
world.
BC?
Listen, what is it? You can look for information. She's the
I know, but
ugly.
you can't
She's an
look-
ugly bitch.
We cannot know what Cleopatra looked like.
No,
There was
science.
no photographs.
She's an ugly bitch.
But
You're an ugly bitch.
Mike, I will not sit here and have you denigrate Cleopatra.
The ugly
here at
fucking
Club Random.
bitch. Yeah, she was related to Alexander the Great, too. That's when the bloodline stopped.
What's this? She
had the bloodline of Alexander the Great, too.
She had the blood. How did she get Alexander's blood in her?
Greeks. Greeks conquered. Listen,
One
you
word.
really think that?
Greeks.
You really know that the Greeks? She was Greek too.
Who was?
She was part Greek too.
Cleopatra?
Cleopatra, yeah.
Well, I mean, Greece and Rome, of course, grew up back to...
Macedonia, they ruled everything.
Macedonia did not... Well, Alexander the Great, of course, was Macedonian. But,
And Philip, and Philip II, Philip
Yes.
of
Yes.
the barbarian.
But Macedonia, even today, it's disputed as a sort of a province of Greece or its own separate country. It is its own separate country
is.
now, but people don't all
They don't,
agree
they
with that.
the Greeks considered them barbarians.
Yes. Yes, they were warriors. I mean, they were sort of like Spartans of the North.
Look how many things are named after him. Alexander this, Alexander this.
Yes. Yeah. No, I mean, he conquered the world, but he was dead by 33.
32, yeah.
32. You know.
I think his men wanted to go back and they poisoned him. He didn't want to go back. He wanted to keep conquering and conquering.
Yes.
Because when he got to India and all the armies got together, his men would say, no, let's not do it.
Right.
And he wanted to cross the river.
Yes.
He kept walking down the river, but they kept falling. He wanted
That's
to
your
cross
thing
that river.
about it's never enough.
Yeah,
That's what you were saying about conquerors.
never enough.
Never enough. So, listen, I got to go, but...
Don't go, man. Come on, man. This is bullshit, man. Hang out, man.
I know. I agree. But I know it seems like we're just shitting here, but they're actually taping it. That's the problem.
Okay.
I'm like,
Forgive me for my language. I just can't help
you
this shit
forgive
sometimes.
you.
Okay.
I can't tell you how appreciative I am that you would think enough of me to do this, because you're the very hot property in media, and you know, I just really thank you so much, Mike.
When I see you, I think of good. I think of we're with Jeff Husband.
Yeah.
We're having a good time.
yeah.
And that's all respect.
Well, we can
man.
do it again,
Yes, I do agree.
right?
Yes, I'm going to see Jeff next month anyway.
Okay.
I'm getting ready to move to Boca.
You might?
Yeah, my kids they playing tennis and golf. So I'm gonna move to Boca. We got the house and everything. So the house.
Oh,
and
you
everything.
already did it.
Yeah.
Because Florida is attractive now. I mean, I go back and forth on Florida.
Really?
Yes, I literally took a virtual tour of homes in Miami. Sometimes you have to look reality stark in the face. And I was scared about, and still am, about the fires out here and other things, but mostly the fires. And I thought, maybe I should go someplace. And people said, well, you know, Miami, they'll have hurricanes. And, you know,
You can't be.
I'm like, I'd rather drown than burn.
But not Miami. You got to be in Boca,
Well, whatever
West
it
Palm
was.
Beach, because you're going to
And
get
there was
killed in
a
Miami.
sense of freedom there. I mean, especially during COVID, you know, I liked it better in Florida, and I was not a COVID paranoid.
I was in St. Boston, everybody was hugging and kissing each other. And
Really?
Yeah, hell yeah. If I didn't have COVID, then I'm never going to catch it. When I was in St. Boston, if I didn't catch it, I'm never going to catch COVID. If I didn't catch it, everybody hugging and kissing everybody. And
Oh, I mean, the inconsistency of it was insane. But I thought about Miami, and then I realized, no, actually, at my age, by the time I felt like I was at home there, I would be dead.
listen,
You know, I've been here 40 years in
If you go to
California.
Miami, that would energize
stuck.
you. No, you go to Miami, you be like, whoa. I mean, in Florida, you be
no.
like, whoa, you
I'm
energized.
too old to be energized.
I don't
just
believe
want to
that's
be
what you believe.
comfortable.
See, that's what you believe.
I'm brittle. No, I'm not. I'm not brittle at all. I feel fucking great. But I'm just saying, you can't deny that, you know, as you go down the path of life, you know, you do get a little diminished in certain ways. If not, you'd still be the champion of the world. You know, I mean, so you can only be, as I always say, when people say you look great, for your age is the part they don't say. That's, you look great for your age. We don't look like we did when we were 20.
Now we're being serious now. So life is just, look at it. If you really think about it, it's just a beautiful process of dying. As soon as you're born,
Well,
the
that's
process
very
begins.
poetic. A beautiful process of dying. Did you just make that up?
Yeah,
That's
pretty much
really
so, yeah.
profound.
But that's what it is, though, right?
It's a fucking great way to look at it. Can I get my pessimistic head wrapped into it? Maybe. I mean, light this joint.
No, but just think about it. We can't.
I mean, this clove cigarette. I don't know what they're putting in these cloves lately, Mike, but it's fantastic. Anyway, all right.
Don't leave.
I can't because Howie Mandel's here. It'd be rude.
We just watched him on television yesterday. Remember how he never touched
Watch Howie's thing and hang
Is
out.
Howie still the same guy that he doesn't touch people?
Watch Howie, and then we'll get together after. We'll all party.
I gotta get home. My wife is right here.
And now he's got to get home.
That sounds good.
No, I got to get home.
That's 20-year-old guy stuff. Hey, man, let's just chill out.
Right. Quentin Tarantino, he stayed. We partied all night at my house.
God, that was beautiful.
Well, some night. But you don't drink.
No.
But you got the weed. That's enough.
Stay with the weed. It's all about weed and stuff.
Yeah, look at that. Fuck. Mike, gee whiz. You're not going to do that all at one night.
Well, hopefully I don't, but I will attempt to do. Look at the ears. Come on, man. You got to look at the Tyson Mike bites. You got to show that to the world.
Oh.
I can't keep them in the store.
Mike bites.
I brought you a bunch of stuff, man. I don't know
smoke
why.
them, I rub them into my belly, and I stick them up my ass. They're that good. Mike bites.
But even when you stick them up your ass, you probably feel the high effect.
You know, it probably would work.
No, you feel good.
No, I'm telling you, I think the punch is the same. You can't run around, but if the guy just stood still,
Yeah, that'd be probably. Yeah, that'd be great, right? Well, that'd be great.